Mitzpe Yericho, and we have about 450, 470 families here, and the shuv is a little over 40 years old. It's nice and hot, and we never see snow here, and we have elementary schools, and we've got I don't know how many kindergartens, lots of them, I think about 9 of them. We have something like 11 different synagogues. We have an after-school program to teach English. We have all sorts of other after-school programming, ballet and dance and judo and capoeira and drums and music and you name it, arts, crafts, all sorts of different after-school activities for the kids.
Easy to tell when it's winter in Wyoming.
I love this paragraph. You know why? I'm sorry, I know I'm interrupting you. I grew up in Montreal, which is a pretty cold place, and this kind of reminded me. All right? It's easy to tell when it's winter in Wyoming. Go ahead.
There is no snow.
There is.
Oh, there is snow on everything.
Yes, it says vocabulary words in sentences. I made it shorter. Like you have to write vocabulary words in a sentence, like last year. This is the Taimani shul over here, and it's a small shul, but it's enough for them. There aren't that many Taimanim, Yemenites, and here we see different houses. This is what's called Shchuna Chet, and these houses, almost all the houses here have additions built on top when people are renting out small apartments. We've just about doubled the growth in all this area just from all, you can see all these, everything on the top is some young couple or small family renting out. That's it. That's an example. Some people rented in their basements, some on top. I'd say about 4 out of 5 houses have some rental unit in them. Very often the rental unit is for the children, for a child that gets married. Right now we're looking at the what's called the Giva, the upper part of Mitzpe Yericho, the hill, and to the right, over here, to the right, this is the lower Giva, and then afterwards you go up even further to the upper Giva. And you can see on the very left, there's a little outpost, a little house. It's one brave soul who built his house there, and they have incredible views. Out of their bedroom window, they see all of the Jordan Valley, and it's really beautiful. And so we'll drive up there. Okay, so over here, what you see is you're looking in the direction of Jerusalem. Hopefully later on we'll have an even better view, believe it or not. But you can see these are the hills, the mountains, and you're following the line of Vadi Kelt that's going down from Jerusalem all the way down. as you go turn around more and more and more, and you're going down, down, down towards Jericho. The middle one is Milscopus, I'm not sure. And you can also see two very big buildings at the edge. All that is Jerusalem ahead of you. It's very hazy, but that is Jerusalem. And then moving a little to the right, you can see on the top of the hilltop there's some green, and there's also some green over there. That's Kfar Adumim, and that's Alon, two neighboring Yeshuvim. And what you can't see, or maybe you can see, that in Kfar Adumim, a little to the left, a bit of a distance, there's also some green on the top of the little peak. That's Nofei Prat. And Nofei Prat, Kfar Adumim, and Alon are three Yeshuvim that sort of are like sister Yeshuvim. The Kfar Adumim was first, and then Alon, and then Nofei Prat started as an offshoot on, adjoining hills. And they have like a big, huge school, two schools actually, like an elementary school and a middle school and a high school, all for the children of they have hundreds of kids. There's our industrial areas in between the pool and the Yeshuv, those longish buildings there. We have several different concerns or factories or buildings or whatever, people doing things there. So what you see over there with the antennas, those are cell phone receptor antennas, and then in between that's a water tower that gives us proper water pressure in our yeshuv. And then if you can make out, there's a low building, that is the hall where there are lots of weddings. Two of my daughters got married there. Now what you see here is Jericho. Now the very edge where the green is a sort of almost triangular shape, that's not Jericho, that is Vered Yericho. Vered Jericho, that's a Jewish settlement. And they're the closest you can get to Jericho. You can no longer go into Jericho, but at one time you could, and you would take the road right up and through Jericho to the north. Jericho also, when we came here 23 years ago, was just the first little bit. Now it spreads all the way. I can't even see the end of it, and it's going all over. It's grown incredibly. Okay, from here we can see the Dead Sea. This is the very end of the Dead Sea. This is where we do Tashlich on Rosh Hashanah. And we can do it from here, we can do it from other points in the Yeshuv and still see the Dead Sea. And what you can see also, some greenery over here and a little bit to the right, you see some sort of something there. The green growing, those are Jewish agricultural settlements and areas and fields of Jewish settlements in the area, partly from Vered Yericho, which is that sort of triangular green area there. Vadi Kelt over here. There's a sort of line. Can you see the line between the mountains and these mountains? Like there's almost a space in between. And there's a little bit of greenery growing behind the lamppost. That's it. So down there, that's where the water comes all the way down from Jerusalem all the way down to Jericho. You can see the split over there much more clearly in between the two mountains. And in between there, you can walk the whole thing from Jerusalem down to Jericho, in theory, through the vadis and so on when it's dry. There was a time that people would come, the Arabs would come and they'd walk up from Jericho to come work here. So they'd walk, and you can see the pathways, and they'd walk and they'd climb up over here. And still you'd think, well, anyone can climb up, it's not much of a fence. If you look up, you can see we've got cameras right at the top here. There's a camera, it's right now in the other direction, but it swivels around. There it is, it's swiveling a little. And we have cameras everywhere around. That's our security system. There are 7 different caravans here, I believe, in which people live. My eldest daughter, started out her married life up on top here before she moved on to other houses in this community and others. And you can see to the left, this is the back of the caravans. So a lot of young couples come here and they start, and these are sukkahs and a lot of makeshift stuff here. And we even have a shul up here, believe it or not, and people come up every Shabbat morning. People walk up from way below to be a part of this shul. It of course has air conditioning, which is crucial around here. a nice little field, nice little trees where kids play during shul. This is the central synagogue over here on our right. We have a little playground also where they play. And we're going to go into the central synagogue. This is big sukkah that's available during Sukkot. They make kiddushim here. During the year, you can sit here and picnic. There's a sign, please keep it clean. We'll go inside. This is the central synagogue. You can see the women's section at the top and the round. And here we've got it's very beautiful. And something called Pinat Ruchama. We had a young child who she passed away a year ago, and in her honor, she was 18, but she was very disabled from the time she was born, and she suffered a lot. But she very much wanted to come to shul. She was mentally fine, and she wanted to come to shul and daven with everyone else. So they made this, because she was in a wheelchair and couldn't get up the steps over here to the women's section, which is on steps. They created this corner, and this is in her memory. It said, you know, she didn't have many days, but this is her name, Ruchama Chaya Tova Alexander. And this is a little corner, and it was made for her. There's a ramp outside. You can come in, and we have here a mechitza, so that it was possible for her to sit, and for people who are unable to, they can sit over here, and there's more of the mechitza on this side, and women can be, someone who's disabled can still come and be part of the, and hear the services, and that is in as we pointed out before, that's the hall, and I don't know if you can see, but there's the chuppah in the distance. With the, I guess there must be a wedding tonight if the chuppah is up, and there's a little swing there that's usually beforehand. The kala sits for a while over there, and it's very pretty. And here's the view again. There's the Dead Sea, and there are the agricultural grounds. That's Mitzpe Yericho, and that's Jericho. And across us in the haze, which we can't see unfortunately, it's a very hot day, is the mountains of Moab, or as we call them today, Jordan. The Givah, the higher Givah, then you're seeing the lower Givah. And then as you move along, you see the latest housing. It's called Mitzpe Yericho. Those houses, there's still a few units for sale if anyone wants. And then we see the old yishuv of the houses. That's the road going down to Jericho over there. It's very beautiful, very stark, a stark type of beauty. We're here, and a lookout point for the all entry coming into Jerusalem from Jordan area. Now it's all done electronically, but we're going to see the bunkers, and maybe we can even walk through them. Stuff is fortified. We used to have soldiers here for a lookout. Sometimes you will find sometimes we'll come here and you'll see the occasional chassid who's sitting out on the top of that hill right in front of us for hisbodedus, to have us, you know, and you can hear the quiet, absolute solitude here, complete quiet, and it's really amazing. And now we're going to see if we can go into if you look up, maybe walk up over here, you can see this is where they were looking out from, the bunkers. And what are they looking at? They're looking straight out at, you know, any possibility of infiltration coming in from Jericho, from Jordan, from the area of the Dead Sea. Right, that's the lookout. That's the Givah at the very top. The Givah on the right, the lower Givah on the left, that little bit of building.
מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך. קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך. קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך. קטונתי מכל החסדים ומכל האמת אשר עשית את עבדך. כי במקלי עברתי את הירדן, אתה הייתי בשני מחנות, הצילני